Okay, so you might be wondering, after yesterday's big news that the magic number has finally been revealed and we need 5 million between our cash in hand and our stash. And some of you might be wondering, well, how do I figure it out? So, the first thing you got to do is go in and put everything into your stash. If, let's say, your stash is full and you've got stuff in your loadout, you can highlight it too. But what you need to do is you need to go into your stash and select everything using the multi-select. You'll know you've got it selected because the background will turn white. Now, unless you're ready to do the full next part, don't complete what I'm about to do, but just select actions, and you can just look at it. So if I were to sell my stash right now, everything in it is 1.366 million. So you want to... Sorry, my wife is texting me. Hang on. I'll probably have to do more air in her tires later, but that's a problem for a different issue. Now, if you're on PC, you could just go ahead and pull up your calculator, or if you're like everybody else, you just grab your cell phone, go to the calculator app. I'm going to put the number into the calculator app on my phone just so I can remember it in case it disappears. So 1366832. So if I were to sell everything, that's what I'll get right now. Very shy of it. My wife forgot that you need to drive a vehicle for a little bit for the low pressure light to come off after you fill the tires with air when it's stationary. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to Alt Tab. Okay, this stuff can go away. That's not the focus right now. And just so everybody can, kind of see. So 1366832 is my number there. And we can also see this is my coins on hand right now. 475575. So my grand total right now is just shy of 2 million. So I need to come up with another 3 before exfil. I'm going to do a bunch of runs, do a lot of selling stuff, and grind out to get to that magic 5 million number that we now officially know. And in my opinion, unless you're a semi-no-lifer like myself, a lot of people are going to have trouble hitting that 5 million unless they focus on it. You're definitely going to have trouble getting that 5 million if you're PvPing. The amount of resources that you burn going after other players in both heals, shield rechargers, weapon damage, things like that, is really going to cut into your profit margins when you're trying to get to that 5 million. What I would highly suggest for anybody who wants to get the 5 skill points, go to maps like Spaceport, stay on that outer edge. The Ark don't spawn as much on that outer edge. You've got lots of buildings to loot. You can go in with just an augment and a shield. That way, if you do run into somebody that isn't friendly, you could take like a level 1 Stitcher and some ammo. That way you have the ability to defend yourself. But if you go in with just an augment and a shield, you are bound to find a weapon. Like, if you hit decent spots, a weapon is going to pop up. It'll be like a Berletta. It'll be like an anvil. You will find the weapon. You will find the ammo. You'll find heals. If you've got the ability to craft in game, you will be able to, turn around and craft yourself heals. If you've got the augment space, you can make them. The cloth bandages are going to be worth a little bit more than pieces. And so while you're doing that as well, you can also remember Scrappy is going to be here in the background collecting stuff for you. Everything here is sellable. Like, you could turn around and keep claiming these seeds. And if you want to, kind of maximize the return a bit, you can go to Celeste and use those seeds to buy stuff that stacks. And when you're doing your runs, you want to collect things that stack into higher numbers, like springs, batteries. You don't want to focus on things that sell for like 1,000 but only stack in threes, because then you have less profit per stack that you go ahead and sell. So if we take, for example, we'll just scroll down far enough. So I can buy batteries. I can sell that entire stack of 15 for three grand. Whereas if I have 3 industrial batteries in a stack, that's only 3,000 for me. But you can stockpile more. And even stuff like light gun parts. It's only going to sell for like 3,000, but you can stack 10 of them. Things you could use your seeds to turn into items to sell. You can then go ahead and do it. Like, metal parts are a seed a piece. I got a stack of 16 there, and it's 1,200. So, and the stack of seeds itself sells for 10. So you could either stockpile the seeds up, because you're going to be out grinding. Scrappy is going to be collecting stuff, and allow your seeds to stockpile and get that full stack of 100. And then when you're ready, just go ahead, grab the stuff that Scrappy's going to stockpile up for you anyway. And then just sell in one big chunk. Makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to be selling a bunch just to make room. That's what I started doing yesterday. And we're just going to start doing run after run to grind the additional 3 million that I need. I'm not going to sell my entire stash and leave myself defenseless. But I am going to sell certain things that I'm not going to use just to get closer to that magic number. There are some things I'm going to keep, because after I hit that magic number and I know I'm secure, I might go in and do more aggressive loot runs just to pad my pockets a little bit more, and I might need something like a Bobcat or a Tempest. But I know damn well I'm not going to need a Volcano. When a base level Volcano, 9k. You can sell it. At this point, it wouldn't be worth it to recycle it into its parts. Because if you're like me, you're not focusing on PvPing right now. You're not going to focus on leveling up your guns. You're going to focus on doing quick runs. Out in there, fill up your inventory space, and out you go. Like, I might just run in with this and this. Your basic, easy, cheap. And what I'll probably end up doing, the save pocket doesn't count towards anything. I may go ahead and put a Raider hatch key in there. Or I'll find the 2 sensors and the electronic parts to craft a Raider hatch key while I'm up topside to be able to get out. Even though PvPing isn't going to net you the most money, there's people that are just going to kill to kill. Like, they know you're trying to get out and you're trying to do something. So if you go out through a hatch, they can't camp all the hatches. You can kind of listen around for people and, sneak out. Plus, if they're not close, if they down you at the hatch, because it's happened to me, you can still call it, wait for it to open as they're sprinting towards you, maybe firing or just trying to knock you out on the hatch. You can still jump in. So just a little bit of food for thought there, and a few quick tips. If highlight everything, click to sell. You can see what your stash is. You saw mine. You know, I'm just under 2 million. And we still have time. We still have plenty of time to get a lot of quick runs in, get a whole bunch of useless stuff that I'm not going to use for anything else. You know, hit your safety breaches, hit your lockers, get that money up. And, you know, if you do quick runs, out and in a matter of probably a day or two, you can easily make it. You know, but it is going to require a lot of grinding for people. And for some people, it might be a big thing for, you know, not doing PvP. But a good chunk are probably just gonna, yeah, this is not worth it for me. I don't want the 12 extra spots. I don't want the 5 extra skill points if I hit the 5 million. And they might not do the expedition. But for the rest of us that are more than likely going to go out and do the expedition, we have time to grind. And that's what it's going to be. It is going to be a grind for all of us to get out there, find our items, get them out, get them sold, hit our magic number, and then go from there. So, like I said, Spaceport, lots of areas to search. Lots of Ark on the outside that you can breach into and get stuff that'll be able to sell. You know, you can find like Leaper Core, the Leaper drivers, the Rocketeer drivers. You can find a lot of good stuff in there. You could also craft items to stockpile to get rid of the basic stuff. But at this point, I would not suggest upgrading weapons. You know, if you want to upgrade, yeah, a level 4 is worth more sitting in your inventory than a level 1. Like if we take, for example, we have a level 4 Renegade with A attachment on it. You know, not anything major. It's worth 7k. Level 1, 4,000. So yeah, you can increase your profit, but you have to take a lot of extra time to upgrade these weapons. You're burning resources that you could sell. And unless you're really going to try and PvP this, it's not worth your time. You know, until you hit that magic number, I would not worry about it at all. There are plenty of loot runs you can do that can get you in and out quick. And you will have very little interaction with the Ark. And they're in low tier areas, and you won't run into players. So you can get lucky going in naked like this with just the pickaxe and no heals, depending on the map and the route you choose. Because your outer rings of most maps, the Ark don't go. Most players don't go out there unless they are spawn camping or doing a similar thing to you. So that's my suggestion. Get out there, quick grinds, bring out everything you can. If you can bring it or craft it when you go in, Raider hatch key. Give yourself the safest possible exit you can so you don't have to worry about somebody camping you. Like another example, here's your basic kettle. Very cheap and easy to craft. 5,000. Level 1, 579. So, I mean, you could craft your very common stuff, but I really wouldn't suggest it. If you're going to do it just for potential protection from the Ark or from players, go level 1. Anybody hardcore is going to be doing similar right now. Like, I'm going to do routes where Ark are going to be something that I have to worry about. So I'm probably just going to take this Pharaoh and a stack of ammo. Because there's nothing worse than finding good loot, but you didn't find any cloth bandages, nothing you could break down to make heals. And the next thing you know, you have a wasp on you or a hornet, and you're out of stamina, and you're not near the hatch, you're not near an elevator, and you get taken down by something that you could have killed. So if you're worried that you can't find a gun in a quick loot route, just take one in. Me personally, most of the routes I run, I'm not going to run into much. The only thing I might craft is energy ammo, just because they sell for 5,000 and they're not that hard. But I'm in the advantage where I have both blueprints. I can make these weapons. But even at 27,000, it's not worth to make it and have it sit and take up space in my inventory when I can go into a raid and grab crap loads of common things. You know, like fireball burners, batteries, canisters. I can run apartments over and over again and get out with that hatch there, fill up my inventory, or go into like testing annex, fill up my entire inventory in there, and get out. You know, damn battlegrounds alone, you have plenty of areas that'll work well for you. Testing annex has a lot of stuff in it. This may be a pretty prime target right now. You've got the breachables on the dam, which people are more than likely going to hit. You've got the breachable up here in power generation, which power generation has the chance that you'll be able to craft a raider hatch key in this area. You could also get power rods from up here, and you have an easy peasy hatch right here. You know, you've got all the apartments to hit. You have Patton House up here. Then even down in the south, you've got electrical. There's a good breachable area. I mean, an area with red lockers right next to this hatch. And then you've got, you know, like raider towers and everything up and around. You could run the outside of the map, fill your inventory and get out. And just the quicker you can run your inventory, you know, fill up your stash with decent stuff and get out, the quicker you can recycle your runs and get in and out, in and out. That's going to be how you quickly make your money. You're not going to make your money chasing people down, shooting them, unless you get really bored and you want to go after like a Bastion or a Rocketeer. That's not worth the time and energy to fight them and kill them, unless you have like a stockpile of wolf packs. But even a single solitary wolf pack, 5,000. You can find these in the safety breaches. You know, you can find the purple guns in the safety breaches. So it's more advantageous for you to go in, do loot runs, in and out, in and out. You could also load into like a queen or matriarch, and while other people are fighting the queen or the matriarch, which most don't, go after the Rocketeers that get taken out, go after the Leapers that get taken out, while they're fighting the matriarch trying to get that one blueprint that spawns in his ball. If they're more focused on killing the matriarch, they're not going to go in and get the scraps. So if you could carefully go in with like a photogenic cloak, you might be able to fill up, quickly run to a hatch. That could be a way to net a huge profit because you are getting the bigger arc. Other people are fighting it, and you're just kind of going in and grabbing it. But me personally, I'm just going to do a lot of quick loot runs over and over again, and then go from there. But hopefully some of this helps. You know, but that's what I'm personally going to do. You know, I've got a bunch of snap hooks stored up. I'm probably going to take one in, because there's areas on damn battlegrounds where I can use the snap hook to get to weapon cases and that are on the outskirts. Like down near the water hatch that you have to use for one mission, on top of those towers there, one can spawn. You've got the end of the highway that has that little place in it that you can use. So it's a good idea to bring it. Plus the raider towers, sometimes in the middle. You can use a snap hook to get up top, and there'll be weapon cases in there. But your main goal is just to get in, get out, sell what you have to, get back in. It's going to be a lot of turn and burn until you get that magic 5 million. And then once you get that 5 million, enjoy yourself. Give yourself a little cushion in case you got to visit Lance. But let's get ourselves ready for the expedition and, you know, the reset, and try to get the 5 skill points that we all can get. Just we're gonna have to, focus on not killing each other. There's boatloads of loot on the map. The maps have so much stuff on them. There isn't a need to go in and shoot the crap out of one another. Go in, fill your pockets, get out. That's what I would suggest to everyone who actually wants to try and get that 5 million. Well, that's all I got for now. I'll catch you later.